America has spent years arguing about crime, punishment, and who's truly responsible for rising violence. But this week, a fiery moment on the House floor cut through the noise, and it came from Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. Her message was blunt. Trump's America isn't tough on crime. It creates it.
If we've learned anything this year is that congressional Republicans are more interested in serving Donald Trump than they are in serving their constituents over the past 10 months.
She says that over the last 10 months, congressional Republicans have focused more on Donald Trump than on the people who elected them. She runs through a list: permanent tax cuts for the wealthy, chaos within the White House, pardons for January 6th offenders, and economic decisions she argues cranked up the cost of living for everyday Americans. And then comes the one she calls the biggest red flag: delaying the congressional vote on releasing the Epstein files.
Also that they could delay, as long as possible, Congress voting to release the Epstein files. And now they're trying to gaslight you into believing that you should trust them on crime policy.
In her eyes, that move reveals exactly who they are protecting, and it isn't the public. What she says next is even more alarming. Crockett warns that Republican leadership is trying to make Americans believe that a police state is normal, a society where armed federal agents quietly watch your daily life. She says under Trump's approach to law and order, people could be monitored while doing something as simple as shopping for groceries or walking their children into school.
They want you to believe that living in a police state is a good or normal thing. They want you to be okay with having armed soldiers and federal agents monitor you as you shop for groceries or take your children to school.
This isn't about delivering safety. It's about exercising control. And she says Americans have already been detained, injured, or nearly killed because of what she calls a reckless new approach to policing. Then comes the part of her speech that stunned many viewers: the crime data. Crockett points to more than 20 years of statistics showing that Republican-led states consistently have higher murder rates than Democratic ones. According to her, GOP states saw murder rates 33% higher in 2021 and 2022, and almost 25% higher over the past 2 decades. Even if you remove major Democratic cities from those states, she says the numbers barely shift.
Republican-led states are experiencing a murder and crime and violent crime crisis.
She then questions a veteran crime expert. Do poverty, weak gun laws, and fewer public services lead to higher crime? The expert doesn't hesitate. Yes, they do. And Crockett argues that because so many Republican states face those exact conditions, it's clear why their violent crime numbers keep rising.
So would you agree that factors like poverty, lax gun laws, and a lack of public services can lead to higher crime rates?
Yes, I agree with that.
But her speech becomes even more powerful when she turns personal. Crockett shares a story from her days as a public defender in Texas, a moment she says shows how broken the system really is. A 17-year-old boy, legally still a child in many states, was charged as an adult for stealing less than $20 worth of snacks from his school's concession stand. His family was poor. His mother couldn't constantly miss work for probation meetings. Eventually, the boy was sent to prison. And that's where he learned how to cook meth.
The maximum punishment for less than $20 worth of candy that he stole out of the concession stand. Ultimately, I told them that it was a mistake to send him to prison. When he went to prison, he learned how to be a criminal. That's where he learned how to cook meth.
Crockett explains that harsh punishment without rehabilitation doesn't reduce crime. It manufactures it. And she makes another point. The boy wasn't black. This happened in rural East Texas. Poverty alone made him vulnerable, and the system punished him instead of helping him. Her final warning is aimed squarely at the whole country. America already imprisons more people per capita than any other independent democracy. Even states considered progressive, New York, Massachusetts, still lock up more people than many nations. She says Trump's approach to crime would push America even deeper into a system defined by punishment, militarization, and fear. For Crockett, the real issue isn't whether crime should be taken seriously. It's whether leaders are willing to address the causes behind it: poverty, addiction, lack of opportunity, and underfunded community services. Without solving those, she warns, America will continue punishing people without ever fixing the problem. And she leaves the country with a stark choice. Do we want a nation built on fear and force, or a nation built on fairness, prevention, and real safety? I'm Charice David, and this is BV News, where clarity meets truth. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a story that shapes your world.